right, I see it's live now.
Okay, I'm just going to check, make sure that UCTV has everything. Okay, we should be live right now. Okay, everybody on? Right. Okay, I'm going to bring to order the November meeting of the Ethics Board. And we are starting at 6 o'clock. Right on time. Okay, and I just want to point out that because I'm also taking minutes while I'm conducting the meeting, that sometimes it looks like I'm looking away, but I'm just looking down at papers or trying to take minutes. Okay, welcome everybody. I'm very happy that we could meet this month. And I'd like to take roll call. David Falchuk.
Here.
Catherine Laverty Danner.
Here.
And I'm Stephanie Bressler, and our solicitor, John Hart.
Here.
Okay. Okay, the first real item on our agenda is to the reading and the approval of the minutes of the October 20th meeting. And let me say that I think I forgot to say last time that we are now posting the meeting minutes on the website. So a member of the public a couple of meetings ago asked that we would do that. So our meeting minutes are now there. We also provide them to City Council. So City Council is able to review what we're doing in our meetings. Okay, are there any additions to the minutes or any corrections to the minutes? And if not, we'll entertain a motion to
Make a motion, we approve the minutes from the October 20th meeting.
Okay, we'll
I second the motion.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
We'll suspend the reading and approve them. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 Okay. Okay, we'll move to the solicitor's report. John.
Okay, I had an opportunity to reach out with our investigative officer concerning our first complaint. He's had no updates regarding it. I know that his next step is upon completing his final report that he's going to be issuing it to the subject of the complaint. And at that time, it's up to, I believe, the subject to make determination of whether or not they would like to request a hearing in the matter. That's the only time when the actual board would get involved with it. The other question I wanted to bring up to the investigative officer's attention was his invoice, which we have not received yet for his entire work in this investigation. I did tell him the board's desire to have that prior to the end of this year because we don't want to be blindsided, and obviously it goes in contemplation of the budget and moving forward. He said that he would get that to me, and I still haven't received that, so I've been calling him today. I haven't got in touch with him yet, but I'll try again tomorrow. As soon as I get the invoice, I can forward it over to the board. That's all I have right now.
Okay, any questions?
Yeah, John, would it be reasonable for us to have a requirement that any invoices are sent within 30 days if the service is performed?
Yeah, I think moving forward, that would be a pretty good procedure to have in place. Yep, just so it's not like a lump sum at the end of any future investigation. So it's, yeah, and I think it's better for accounting. Yep, absolutely.
And how would we set up that procedure?
It could be informal because that's just between us and our investigative officers who the board decides to appoint. So we could just let them know moving forward that we want them to keep very, I mean, we're dealing with the public, so we want it to be very, very detailed and frequent, so we know what's going on.
So do we have to take any formal action on setting that up?
I don't believe so at this point in time, no.
Okay. And I have a couple of questions. You said that the investigative officer would be giving the report to the subject of the complaint. And then the subject of the complaint has 30 days to request. Go ahead.
Correct, yeah, the subject of the complaint, of the complaint, after receiving the final report from the investigative officer, has 30 days to request a hearing. Otherwise, it's ratified essentially. I do know that in addition, if the subject weren't able to request up to 30 days, they can ask for an extension of time, which can only be granted by the officer to just an extension of time to contemplate whether or not they'd want to take a hearing on that issue. And I just reviewed that section, and Kate, just for your reference, we're looking at section 9 of our code of ethics that dictates all the step-by-step procedures for the investigative officer in issuing the report and how they have to go about taking a hearing afterwards. So like I said, at this point in time, it's out of our hands, and that's, the rules are written that way intentionally to have a curtain. I think it's a wall that separates the investigative officer and the board to protect all those interested in that complaint.
And Kate, this is our first complaint. So it's the first time we're going through this process. So we're learning a lot.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, lengthy process. And just so you know, Kate, in the past, yes, it's our very first complaint, which is, I think, from the start of this year. And there was a conflict with the first investigative officer that we appointed to it. Apparently, there was a conflict between her and some party member. So then we had to find somebody else, like at the midnight hour for that. And then I know our investigative officer was running into issues of obtaining information from the city. So we had to create a procedure for him to do that with a subpoena, because it was our interpretation of the code that the board does have subpoena powers. So we were able to do that. And fortunately, the city complied, and it didn't have to be something that was litigated with a court order. So I know he had some roadblocks during the way, but I think he said he's just about wrapped up with his end. So that's all we have.
John, no requests for advisory opinions?
No, I don't think we have any new requests. We started out with a lot of them at the beginning of the year, but yeah, it's been slow.
Right.
Election's already over, so I think a lot of those issues grow stagnant over a while.
Okay. Should we move on? Any other questions for John? Okay, secretary's report. I didn't put a chair report here because we don't have a chair, but we do have a secretary. And I just wanted to say that there has been no movement, as far as I know, on filling the 2 vacancies. And I'm not sure whether it would be appropriate for us to take any kind of action or make any kind of request of the mayor's office or city council. I know they're looking for people. And as long as we have 3 people and we have a quorum, we can vote on whatever we need to vote on. But we really should have 5 members. And is there any action you'd like to take on this, or do we just wait?
I mean, I could tell you, like, one of the purposes of the board is to educate about ethics within the city. So I don't think there's anything wrong with the members, not maybe directly soliciting people, but just take it out there and spread word that cities, obviously all of the mayor and city council members, they have their day-to-day tasks, let alone trying to find, and apparently they're leading to Scranton citizens to take on these positions. So I don't see any issues with, just spreading word, saying the need and just explaining it. I mean, you guys are the best people to explain what the board does as of right now, as you're learning every day.
Right, yeah. I've actually been encouraging people to consider applying. Two concerns people have. First of all, a big concern is that anybody on the board cannot be actively involved in city political campaigns. And the people I know who are interested and engaged are the people who also are involved in campaigns. So that's one concern. I also heard a concern from another resident indicating the perception that to be part of this board, you really have to understand policy and you really have to understand the code. And I'm encouraging people to apply, saying that we have a solicitor who is going to interpret the code for us and help us. So there's really not a particular kind of knowledge you have to be on this board. It's just a willingness to serve and to really promote ethics in city government.
Is it listed on our website that we're soliciting members, or?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Maybe that might be a good place to kind of throw it out there that we are looking for more board members on our website.
And I think overall, it would be good for the city to list the vacancies on the boards, the various boards, because I understand that there are other boards with vacancies and difficulty with filling them. Okay, good idea. Okay, finance report. Well, we really don't have a finance report, but as John pointed out, it's really important to get those invoices in so that, especially by the end of the year, we can pay them. This year we had a $10,000 budget, and last year we had the first year a $25,000 budget, and we were really concerned about that cut. I know that City Council advocated for more money for us, but we do have that 10,000 budget, and looking at the proposed spending plan for next year, it's also a $10,000 budget. Now, we were reassured by the city attorney that if we needed more money, especially to cover our complaint procedures, that we should be able to get it. So I think until we know how much money we're spending on investigating the complaints, it's going to be hard to really know how much money we need. So, John, have your invoices been paid? Do you have
Yes.
any?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And fortunately, the city business administrator's office now has a nice procedure where we can approve vouchers via email authorization. So I don't know, Dave, if you picked up on those emails from Kelsey, but it's a much easier system for us. So that's good. Okay, gift subcommittee report. We did not receive any gift reports since our last meeting. Other business, we do have a Times Tribune public notice invoice of $70.80. That needs to be considered, reviewed, and approved. And this is for our last meeting, since we changed from an in-person to a back to virtual. We had to have a legal notice about that. Okay, so do I have a motion to approve that invoice for the Times Tribune? Go ahead.
I motion to approve.
Okay,
Second the motion to approve the invoices.
okay. All right, any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 Aye. Okay. The next order of business is the Scranton Code of Ethics, a quick guide, and Katie offered to take a look at that. Did you have a chance to look at it?
I did have a chance to look at it. I didn't see any glaring grammatical errors or anything like that. But I was wondering, I know we are not going to be reviewing that until our January meeting.
Mhm.
So I was wondering if you wanted me to kind of spruce it up a little bit. If that's okay with you. I didn't want to take, creative liberties in any way, but
Oh, please do.
okay.
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
So I'll work on it a little bit more, just kind of making it a little bit reader friendly, I would say. But otherwise, I mean, there were no glaring errors or anything like that that I saw.
Great. Okay. Is there any other business? Okay, public participation. I checked our email about 5 o'clock and there were no comments at that time. We have received a lot of reports from the Cognetti campaign. I think that they are being very careful to cover themselves, not just giving those reports to the city clerk's office, but also sending them directly to us. Okay, the next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, December 15th. I'm not sure that we're going to have to meet unless there's something outstanding. John, unless there's a request for an evidentiary hearing, then we probably would have to.
All right. Yeah, and the only thing, like I said, I'm going to make sure that we got an invoice from the investigative officer.
Right.
But I'll just circulate that through email so everybody has it.
Right, but we would have to approve that in a public meeting.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we would have to meet again.
Right.
Okay. All right. Is there any other business? Okay, well, nice short meeting. And I will certainly entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
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 Okay. The meeting is adjourned and I will be in touch with you about the December meeting.
All righty.
Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Stephanie. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.